Hey, Captain Chris Myers, Central Florida Sight Fishing Charters. Do you have a spinning reel that's making a noise that's driving you crazy? If you do, this may be the simple fix for you. While you fish, it sounds something like this. And it'll go on all day long, non-stop, as long as you have tension on your line. Then you get home, if you take the reel off and don't have any tension on your line roller, which is right there, the sound goes away. It sounds like it's coming up from underneath the spool while you're fishing. It's actually coming out of the little tiny bearing inside that roller right there. So you can put all the oil you want on it. Once it starts making that noise, I've never had a reel that I could oil the problem away. But it's really easy to change out that bearing. I'm going to show you how that can be done and stop your reel from annoying you. Okay, the part we're talking about is your roller bearing assembly right here. So it has a metal cover and the bearings are inside that. Most of them have a Phillips screw on the back side. Some of them take a star, some of them take a special tool. Majority of the reels I've ever owned come apart with a Phillips. So you take that screw out, and you would probably want to do this over some type of towel or something to catch any little washers that may fall out of here. Some reels have more than others. If we take this screw all the way out, your bearing assembly will start to come apart. Put that screw to the side. Inside here you will find the cover, and if your bearing is making noise, there's a good chance that you will see some corrosion in here right away. So this silver part is the inside of this brass colored piece, the roller itself, and the bearing is inside here. If it's stuck, you may have to push it out with a screwdriver. That's how small that little roller is. It's a little tiny thing. Once it starts making noise, you can try oiling it, putting it back together. Highly unlikely that it's going to stop making that noise. You need to get yourself a new bearing. If you have a common reel, most tackle shops will carry these. You can go there and buy one from them, and you can put it back together yourself like we're going to do in a second. It's as simple as that. You can buy some aftermarket ones. I caution you on buying the extremely cheap ones that you can get a whole bag of them for $1 or $2. They might seem like a good deal, but they're going to quickly corrode and you're going to be right back with the same problem. So you take your new bearing, and you want to be sure when you're taking this apart that you know which way this roller was facing, because it's not the same on both sides, so we don't want to turn it around, try to put it in that way. So look carefully or take a photo before you take it apart. Once you put the new bearing back in there, what I like to do is add some anti-corrosion reel grease in there, pack that in that bearing the best I can. The grease will stay in there a lot longer than some drops of oil. So pack yours with grease. Once that bearing's back in there, you can place it back on the roller arm, line the two sides up, put your screw back in. Now when you're tightening this screw down, you want to be careful that you don't tighten it up too much. If you get it tightened down too far, not only is it sometimes very easy to strip the head on this screw, but you screw it down too far, this roller bearing assembly might not turn. And to find out if yours is turning or not, take your piece of line, put it under the roller bearing, get your two pieces of line, cross hands with them so you have an X across there, and then as you pull on one side or the other of the line, you should be able to see that roller bearing assembly turning. If it's not turning, then you may have it down, cranked down there too far, or you put it together incorrectly. But you want to make sure that the thing is turning before you go back fishing. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of friction on your line from that point where the line touches that roller bearing. So hopefully this tip helped you fix your noisy spinning reel. If you got any questions or comments, you can put them below. Try to answer everybody's input within reason. And if you're going to be in Central Florida, come and see me for an inshore saltwater fishing charter.